I lost track. About this whole thing, about the whole drama, all the strong emotions and so on. I have them, you know. I've had them. They're getting less, you know. Used to worry about it. You go to a shrink, you go to a therapist, you know. In Pune they were also great about it, you know. All the great therapists, you know. Oh, that means that, that means that. Nowadays with the spiritual seekers, they're more shrinks, and very bad shrinks as that are actually spiritual seeking. I've been doing this to myself, you know, the condemnation, you know, oh, I should change this, this is not okay, you know. And in a way, I do love the drama from it, you know.
Yeah,
I do like
it's all
to
about me, isn't it? It's all about like, how am I doing? Am I improving? Where does
no,
this
no,
come
no,
from
no, no.
in me?
I mean, I do like the drama.
Yeah, well,
you know, the
drama
dynamic between people, you know.
Okay.
And actually, I don't see what is really wrong in it. This whole thing about spirituality, from you always have to be in one certain kind of similar mood, you know. No excitement, no sadness, no anger. And I've met a few enlightened people, and some of them, they're more insane as that I am, you know. And no, and I wonder where is this coming from, you know, this whole fantasy story. The fantasy stories from the shrinks even, you know. Because nowadays everything, then you're this, then you're that, subdivision, you're this and this and this, and we've got a pill here from what is this humanity wants actually from human beings, you know? We go to wild parks and we love the wild lions, etc., and they're actually boring, stinking animals, you know? But we human beings, you know, we have there this picture that we always sit silently. Like Franciscus or something. Yet, in the meantime, we have got a war here, we've got a war there. The pornographic world is getting more and more insane, you know. And then it's covered up with tantra or something like that, you know. And, I mean, you know, I find it in myself a dilemma. Because about a few things in my life, for sure, you know, I'm embarrassed about it, no? Another thing is from, fuck you, you know? You know, from the fascistic behavior within the spiritual world is worse as out there in the so-called harsh world. Yeah. And everybody is ugly and everybody is cheating. But I found it also when Bhagwan was alive, for instance, the great master, you know, just like me, an ordinary man, the things I've seen happening there, you know? Terrible. You know, I've seen how people got destroyed there, you know? Really, I mean, really. So, and yet it is so ordinary, you know? Simple. From, okay, there is a woman asking, what happened? Yeah, very ordinary. It also happened with the girl behind the Albert Heijn, you know, when the set is right there. And I'm also, it's that ordinary. Ja, Walter, it's that ordinary.
Yeah. So,
and this whole belief system, what is going on?
Hold on a second.
Sorry. Now,
okay.
You see?
Okay. So, it seems that a lot of that confusion about how you have to maintain a certain state continuously is because when you recognize who you are, this ordinariness, when you see that it's got nothing to do with thought, and you start to notice that it actually, in that nothingness, it has certain qualities. The fact that everything is included in it means it's unconditionally loving, right? The fact that there's it's absolutely silent, beyond even the word silent.
And in the meantime, there can be a war going on.
Let me just finish. So you notice that it has certain qualities, but the confusion for spiritual seekers is usually that that when a teacher is describing this and saying and talking about the different qualities, people hear it as if I need to do that or become that. So I need to be silent. So I'm going to sit really silently, because that's how I'm supposed to be. And if I'm silent long enough, then I'll get it somehow. Or if I'm unconditionally loving always to everybody and never get angry, then I'll be this enlightened person. But the point is, it's been misunderstood. These are not things that you can ever try to do. Because as a person in the world, you're never going to be unconditionally loving. It's always going to be conditional for this person in the world. You can never be completely silent. There'll always be at least the sound of the breath, if not all of the other noise as well, you know. You'll never be able to not move and be absolutely still. There's always the heartbeat or a lot of other movement, you know. You can never maintain a certain mood because the hormones or the different sensations are going on, or other, you know, people irritate you or whatever, you know. Normal life goes on, but the qualities that these teachers have spoken of, they're not things you need to do. They're qualities of who you already are. It's just been misunderstood.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, and it is
that's the
actually
thing.
nowadays so confusing that yet when it happens, there sets in doubts. It cannot be like this. Because
Yeah.
it did happen to me in the most confusing, the most dramatic situations, so then boom. Because there was no other way to go anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and then immediately the confusion sets in from, no, it can't be like this, but yet it
Yeah.
is like this.
Yes, exactly.
But somehow the conditioning, I
because of
see...
all our spiritual concepts, we say, oh, it can't be that simple, that ordinary, that kind of nothing special. Just this.
Yeah.
So a lot of what we're doing in these meetings is undermining these spiritual concepts. And then what we're left with is ordinary life, which is crazy, you know. It seems like this
Which is difficult enough.
Well, yes. It seems like
Which
this
is extraordinary enough, you know, especially in these days.
Exactly. I mean, but we can't see how extraordinary it is while we're believing that it should be more special. And it should be more extraordinary.
But is this then actually not, because I find it more, you know, I did the therapies, I did this and that, I went around, you know. Is it then not actually a pervert way of avoiding actually the agony, the pain, you know? Because that I came across from, ow, I'm actually hurting. And not in a dramatic way, you know, the dramas I made because I avoided the pain.
Yes, absolutely. This is
and they became so fucking dangerous. I think, hey, I end up in a fucking jail or in a mental hospital, which I did in another lifetime.
Yeah.
And now from, hey, ow, this hurts.
The spiritual search is such a perfect way of avoiding feeling.
Perverted, so.
Well, yes, perverted, yes, but I mean it's perfectly perverted in that it's a perfect way to avoid feeling, because every feeling that comes up you say, oh no, it shouldn't be like this.
I'm not my feelings yet.
Yeah, or that I'm
yet
not my
from
feeling.
inside you're torn
I
apart.
should just try to be with my feelings. All of this.
And yet the feelings are there, and
they're
then you say to
there.
yourself, I have to be with my feelings.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. The feelings are already there, you don't have to be with them.
And then another €10,000 for some more therapy, a special therapist.
Yes, yeah, but I mean, also to say the other side, because everything we can contradict
sorry, I
the
put
other.
this out because sometimes, hey, am I seeing this wrong or something like that? Because I saw now so many of these dodos.
Just to say the other side is that
Yeah.
therapy can be useful to a point. You know, to look at some of these stories, some of these patterns, beliefs, especially if you've had some traumatic background, then therapy can be, in a way, some opening to start to unravel some of these beliefs. But of course, it comes to a point. Hang on.
Sorry.
It comes to a point where you have to see that looking at these stories is endless. You know, there is no end to this digging into the past or analysing why or how. You know, and then, like any practice, you drop the practice when you see, you get the point. You get the point of it, that it's just thought kind of making more drama in a way, continuing the drama about me and my poor life
Yeah.
and how hard it
Pour
is for
me
me.
another
and-
drink.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I'm
But you know, it is useful to a point. So I don't want to throw out therapy completely. You know, I don't want to throw anything out. Actually, it's all.
me either, also not. But I like to take
Yeah,
one side, you
for
know.
sure. Yeah, for a while.
Then you take the other
Yeah,
side.
yeah. And then we can change over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm so actually so surprised about the strength of the mind. Now, you talk about trauma, but it's also that you believe the trauma actually happened, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
But you can't get to that point straight away. You know, when you've had the trauma and all that.
the what? The trauma, yeah?
Let's say you've had it. You've had some terrible trauma in your life. To get to the point where you no longer believe that it actually happened, you know, you no longer believe that it happened
Yeah.
to you, is quite a step in a way for
But
someone
what-
who's in the middle of all that trauma. So first of all, to look at the trauma in the stories, it seems to be a normal thing that happens.
Yeah,
to
and
people.
then one trauma is dissolved, you know, then people are diagnosed like this and this, and then the next trauma, and then something else is invented.
Yes.
And 20 years later, you know,
Yeah, then it becomes the addiction to this story
Yeah.
of me, and that I'm so traumatized.
I mean, I had it when I can sometimes dig in the history, you know, especially with internet and now, you know. I mean, I can get addicted to anything, you know, even that goes very easy. And I saw myself at a certain moment imagining things, you know, going stronger within, and at a certain moment, well, hey, wait a minute, you know, this is not true. You're fantasizing this, and this.
Yeah.
I see this mind resisting it, you know. But,
Yeah.
are you nuts? You know, go for a walk, go cleaning your dishes. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
nice trip.
Yeah. There are
And,
lots of
this-
trips like that.
Yeah, and this is also with all the so-called traumas, no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. But you can only see that when you see it. You know?
Not before, yeah. Somehow, first the suffering has to become so intense that
Often
now
it
it's
is like
enough,
that.
huh?
Yeah, often it is like that. Yeah, not always, but yeah. Often it has to just be so terrible that somehow you see that.
And then again,
it's
you
just
see the
happening.
mind, you know, even enjoying the suffering.
Yes, yes.
At least feel something.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Some kind of drama, some entertainment. At least it's not nothing. At least it's not that neutrality that is just boring.
Or a deep depression.
Well, yeah, but even depression is exciting.
It
Better
cre-
depression
it-
than nothing.
It creates a big ego which doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Amazing, huh?
Yeah.
How this has been put together. It's totally amazing.
yeah.